Good evening and welcome to In Focus. I'm Maggie McCauley here with Liz Farrell. Liz, it's great to see you today.
It's great to be here. I'm excited because as we speak, there is a major motion picture being filmed right down the street from us.
It's so cool that we get to see all of the action right here on our own campus. I'm hoping to sneak a peek at Vin Diesel.
I know. I heard he actually has hair in this film.
Well, the movie plot features the last remaining witch hunter battles against an uprising of witches in modern-day New York. It's set to hit theaters next fall, 2015.
I can't wait to see it, and hopefully we'll see shots of Pittsburgh in there.
Hopefully. Well, in other exciting news, we have senior Point Park Cinema students Kyle Rawlinson and Eli Kurlfink in the studio with us today to talk about their film, The Casket and the Body.
And not only will we have an interview with these talented directors, we'll also show clips from their film.
Let's meet our guests and take an inside look at their film right here on In Focus.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're good.
We're very excited to have you here on the show with us today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're excited to be here. Yeah.
Can you tell us about your cinema career so far?
Well, we're seniors. I'm a directing concentration, so I've pursued that mostly.
And I'm nomadic. I'm just kind of bouncing around. I've done editing, I've done production design, I've done directing, and I'm not going to graduate with a concentration, but I'll graduate with a cinema degree. So.
That's great, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about The Casket and the Body, like the plot description?
Oh, plot description. So it was a project for our advanced directing class, and usually you get a 4-minute assignment. So I took on the first 4 minutes of the film, which is called The Casket, and that's about it's about a mother and father and their recently departed son Barney, and it's them fighting over the final burial place of their son, and their divorce has kind of made them a little bit embittered about where they want to bury him. And then you can talk about
Yeah, my story was about the friends of the deceased who stole the body from the funeral to sort of give him their own ceremony in a very illegal way.
Oh wow, so where did the inspiration for this come from?
Well, it came from our writer, Ryan Carson. He's my roommate, and he's also, he's just a pretty good writer. He's good at kind of encapsulating teenage angst and just kind of pent-up emotions. So he wrote this, actually it's a feature, and he wrote this feature about Barney and this kind of story about a whole group of characters kind of reacting around his death and the circumstances of it, and we just kind of picked it apart and we picked which piece we wanted to do, and so we just kind of took different sections and rewrote a little shorter 4-minute like vignette, and together the two films created one film. So.
Wow, yeah, cool. So how is The Casket and the Body different from other short films you guys have made?
Well, I think primarily originally the idea was that we were going to use this like 4-minute format of the assignment and try and make a bigger project than just the 4 minutes we were assigned. So that was, I think, the inspiration on my end, at least.
Yeah, yeah. It created like instead of being minimized by our 4-minute timeline, we decided to kind of team up and make a bigger project, and hopefully this format of not just because I mean the truth about cinema is that it can be a little bit of a competitive nature, and so it was better to kind of team up and partner up rather than butt heads, and together we kind of made a film that now I think it's getting positive reviews, so I guess that's how it's different. It's very different from yours. You do a lot of like whimsical and I don't know, I think this is kind of a little more in line with the voice that I'm trying to capture, so.
Right,
Yeah.
it sounds like it was quite a process. How long did it take you to work on the film?
I don't remember.
It took us a day. Like it took me a day to film The Casket. It took you.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Less time than I would have liked, probably. But
Yeah, day for the body. I mean, in post, it's kind of a hazy ground. I think it went for like 2 weeks, and then we kind of finished it, and then we came back to it. So in the post-production process, we spent a little more time with it. But all in all, it was actually a fairly quick process, I think.
in terms of the story, it was a thing that Ryan has sort of been working on and off for a long time, I think. It's a story that's been in his head for a while, so.
Is this the first film you guys worked on together?
No.
No.
No. What was the first film? We.
I'm not sure.
I mean, a year prior, or the semester prior for our P3, we did the film called Gospel of Ernie. That's, he directed it. I did production design on it, so that was our...
And edited.
And edited, yeah, and edited it with Asia Carter.
Edited it. I just said edited it. I thought that was a funny...
Edited? What are you saying?
It was just...
Edited?
Edited it.
That's not...
It works.
Does
it could be, yeah.
It's two consecutive words that sound funny.
Stupid, but whatever. Anything before that? I mean, we were in P1 together too, but never the same group.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So I guess Gospel of Ernie was our first time.
I guess so, yeah.
Teaming up.
So
That was a
it's
very
been
long answer.
Quite a journey
Yeah.
for the two of you. We're actually going to take a look at an alternative version of your film right now, right here on In Focus.
Beautiful. What the fuck is the matter with you?
Should I start with the failed marriage or the dead son?
Your mother's here.
Send her in. She probably has a martini shaker.
My bosses are here.
I am not having this conversation. You're the workaholic. I'm the alcoholic. These are not secrets.
Look, I want to have a productive conversation.
Good. I was feeling very unproductive.
If you don't want to talk,
What? What is it?
I want him with me.
What?
I want him buried in Sacramento with my parents.
What if I want him with my parents?
They're not dead.
They will be. What if I want him here with me? What if I don't want him in Sacramento?
Then I'm prepared to fight you for it.
I wish I could divorce you even further.
Well.
What the fuck were you thinking? Free organs is what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking at all. I panicked.
We didn't bring any food, did we?
Look, if you want to leave Barn with us, go ahead. Take the car.
He can't take the car. We need food. 1 roll of toilet paper.
You trying to get a rise out of me?
You have something against food?
Something like that?
Want me to take a swing at you?
Ooh, I could use one of those.
All our lives, you've been fucking up and letting us weather the storm.
No one asked you, all right?
Where's my poncho?
So what's your big fucking plan, huh? Bring Barney back up here and electrify him?
No, don't do that.
Reanimate him so you can play Nintendo and get baked?
Oh, you keep pushing
While
me.
you talk
We're gonna
about
get rid
the
of 2
ugliest
fucking
girls in high
bodies!
school, what the fuck is your plan? And you've had something planned since the beginning, Sid. Tell me what it is.
That was a pretty intense film. Was it hard to shoot with the content so emotional like that?
A bit. It got heavy at some point, but I think it was. We're all friends, sort of, most of us who were involved, so it was easy to kind of turn off and just hang out.
Yeah.
In between.
Yeah, I mean, we filmed it. I mean, the casket was filmed at the funeral home, so there was kind of like just an eerie air to it. Like, we're filming in a place where people constantly mourn the death of their loved ones and go through the next process in their life. But as far as after we were done filming it, and there's a part where the mother cries and breaks down next to the casket, and that was really rough. However, from a directing standpoint and an on-set standpoint, we really kind of have to not necessarily distance ourselves from the emotion, but just kind of get past it and work to make the best product possible. And when it came down to the editing process, it was just kind of second nature, and it was sad that, like, when we got down to doing sound on it and editing on it, that, like, it just we were just like, oh, which cut should I go with her crying about her dead son, and we just became kind of desensitized to it.
Right.
But after watching it, like I don't know, it's interesting to see other people actually process it as a film, and we're so involved on the cinema process that it's just another project. So.
Right. It sounds like it would be such a surreal kind of experience being there in that situation, but like you said, you were so involved with it that just kind of didn't hit you at that point, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Pre-pro working into it is kind of a little bit eerie. Like, you have to go through the emotions of these parents, but anyways.
Yeah. I agree with what you just said.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
What other locations did you guys use?
Well, the body was shot primarily at the producer Trevor's family cottage. That was the sort of, and then I guess also in his home in Altoona. He had a little like rec room in the basement.
Yeah, he's got like this fun basement. And Casket was shot all in Vandergrift, PA. Beautiful Vandergrift. So, yeah.
Well, how did you go about casting the actors from the film?
Well, Ryan was in the body, the body, and he was the writer, so he was a pretty easy fit. And my friend and colleague Chris Franz was also in the body, who I've worked with plenty of times. He's I've written with, and he's acted in other projects of mine before. And then Ricky Evanison also worked in nothing that I had worked on before, but Jared Prasante, who was a directing concentration major a year ahead of us at Point Park, had worked with him and recommended him to me.
Yeah, and I had Lisa and Michael. They actually are faculty here at Point Park. Not teachers, they work on the 7th floor of Lawrence, but I've worked with them in the past, and I think they have a kind of built-in dynamic because, I mean, they work together in an office in tight quarters, so I kind of liked playing with that idea and just kind of casting them in this like bickering role of husband and wife or ex-husband and wife, and I think the kind of built-in chemistry that they had I think it worked for the piece. So.
Well, it seems like the cast came together pretty well then, but what would you say was the most difficult part of filming?
For the body, personally, the schedule was kind of difficult because we had some trouble managing time, and we ended up, we had one day to shoot the exterior stuff. We had one day to shoot all of it, actually, and we kind of ran out of sunlight, so we had to sort of use some tricks to get around that.
I think the most difficult part was, I mean, you have to figure out, it's called like the 180, and having basically when you film one of the characters and you go in for the reverse on your other subject, you have to establish an eye line, and they have to be on kind of different parts of the screen. And when we got to the funeral home, it wasn't what we were expecting, so we kind of had to readjust blocking. But now that I'm mentioning it, I think the hardest part about filming The Casket was the idea that we needed to book a funeral home, and to be able to do that, you needed to pray and hope that no one died, because if someone died, then you would end up losing your funeral home. So I think that was having to kind of just cross your fingers and pray that no one in Vandergrift, PA was going to pass away that week. So
as opposed to other projects where we just kind of hope that they, do.
Do die? Or morbid?
That was a joke.
Oh.
Knee slapper.
No one's died in any of our films yet. So.
Yet, I like that part. Okay.
Yeah, yes. No.
Don't want to jinx anything.
Jeez, no. All forms of wood. If you want to knock on that for me, thank you.
Gotcha, don't worry.
And you guys ended up actually having a deleted scene? So why didn't you add, why wasn't it in the
twist.
film?
Yeah, well, actually, the deleted scene. So originally, when I pitched this to Eli, because like I was trying to get Ryan to do this, and like I thought it'd be a good project, and I think like the teaming up aspect of it would be fun. So originally, it was actually a 3-parter. It was it starts with the casket, it goes into something called the party, and then it ends on the body. So it's the casket, the party, the body. But Yeah, it's all uplifting. And anyways, so yeah, originally I wanted to pin down Mac Grant, but he wanted to do his own project, reasonably so. He didn't want to join in our macabre little experiment. So yeah, so the deleted scene was just kind of like, what happened was the funeral home, we couldn't find it. They canceled because, you know, people die. And yeah, it's sorry. And one of the cinematographers just happened to be freed up that weekend because there was just a conflict with one of the directors in our class. So that opened us up for just doing this project. So basically it was my 21st birthday. We threw a party and we invited some friends. We sent them out a script beforehand. And legally speaking, no one was drinking at the party. And so we basically gave him a script and we said, like, go about this, kind of take it out, do what you want. And then we had our main character, which is Ricky, and he's at the very beginning of my film. He's the main character in your film, but we basically had the camera behind him. We followed him through the party with one take, and we just kind of tracked him through the party for a 3-minute one shot and just kind of had the party going on in full swing around him, and then had him leave the party within 3.5 minutes, and that's all the deleted scene is. So it was a fun birthday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a birthday party.
Yeah.
We actually have an exclusive look at the deleted scene, and we're gonna take a look at that right now.
Sensitive asshole.
Wait, it's
God.
not what I meant. It's I just surprisingly.
Lawn Street. 303 Lawn Street. Like the fucking shit you mow.
Fuck Jeremiah.
Hey, no, wait. There's alcohol in the kitchen. Look. It's garbage, but don't worry about it. Go get a drink.
Oh, sorry.
Have you seen Sinner Andrew?
No. Check upstairs. Luke, give us your calico. Where your calico?
Have you seen Sinner Andrew?
No, where the fuck is he?
No one to check upstairs, man. Maybe he's in the man cave?
Look, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. Do you want one, man? Come on.
Have you guys seen Sinner Andrew?
Pirate ship, right?
Have you ever been to a funeral before?
What the fuck are you saying that for? Like, Jesus Christ. You could say anything else and it would be okay, but like, why a funeral? We're not gonna fucking start at a funeral, so why would we fucking open with that? Oh my god.
Have you seen Sinner Andrew? Lady, have you seen Sinner Andrew?
No, he has all of us in the car.
Hey Pete, how are you holding up?
Have you seen Sinner Andrew?
They didn't show. They must be at Andrew's place. Where are you going?
I just don't get how everybody is acting so normal.
Come on, go. What are you doing? I love reset. Because it's your fun. You gotta win both ways.
And not only do you have the deleted scene, you brought
Talents.
set pieces.
And drop them, but that's okay.
Yes. What are the significance of your set pieces that you brought with you?
I'll put that back up there.
These apples represent
Temptation.
I was going to say apples.
Oh.
The hidden meaning is temptation.
Yeah, it's real biblical. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we can discuss.
Sure.
The question was, what are the meaning of these?
Sure.
So this is kind of an experiment I'm going about right now because I just kind of found a little niche in production design. And what production design is basically designing the background of a film and working with your art director. And basically it's a whole department, the art department. And it starts with production design. And it's just like costume, props, set pieces. It's a whole lot of work. But every film that I'm on, I try to interweave props and set pieces to kind of coexist in this one universe. And that's the TLA universe. And so yeah, it stands for Talk Like Adults. So this is a set piece that was on Eli's film Gospel of Ernie.
So like your shirt.
My shirt, yes. Talk Like Adults. And it's just kind of...
Just making sure they saw.
Which camera?
We've got it.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, so Talk Like Adults. And this is just... Chris wrote the Talk Like Adults, like the show.
The title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
Well, the story of Gospel of Ernie was that it stars Ernie Dobbs, who is a fictional like television host who hosts a show called Talk Like Adults, which is a sort of argumentative talk show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I wrote an original draft, and then Chris Franz and Michael Heitzenreiter were the rewriters of that.
So anyways, yeah, we took the Talk Like Adults idea and just kind of, I've been recycling that in every film. In a film I did this summer called All Raccoons Are Bandits. I look forward to recycling more props in your upcoming film. And but yeah, so you got TV. This is Harper. This was kind of like, we put this into All Raccoons, but Harper was from Talk Like Adults or from Gospel of Ernie. That's been in it. These wanted posters, so they're all just kind of props that have been, they're like Easter eggs. You can find them in all of our films. So.
Why is this consistency important to you in all your films?
Because I have OCD. No, I don't think I have OCD. I might have OCD. Where'd those apples go? I don't know. I just think it's kind of, we're in this now that like Pixar has been basically kind of like, Toy Story and all their films kind of coexist amongst each other, and Marvel Universe is kind of building out this universe theory, and it's kind of becoming like a popular trend for movies to kind of like tip their hat to other things and kind of exist in this kind of idealistic same world setting. So I don't know, it's more or less, I do it out of pure enjoyment of kind of connecting the dots between our films and seeing how they could like theoretically blend with each other. And yeah, and I think it also kind of builds a market too, because if people realize I'm doing this and they see like, oh, that set piece was in that film, and they start connecting the dots and they see these Easter eggs appear, then we kind of are building out our own market, which is a fun, I guess, like hidden advertising tactic. So
I like it, and I definitely want to Talk Like Adults t-shirt.
Oh, well, $10, $50. $50.
Okay, we can negotiate that.
It's just, if we like, we can put a graphic here on where we can sell them, but
yeah.
Nah, we don't have a distributor yet.
Call in the next 10 minutes, buy one get one free kind of deal.
Yeah.
Well, now that the film's over and everything, what are your plans for it, like, afterwards?
Which film?
Well, the Body of the Casket.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Where are we?
We're in a universe.
Yeah.
Currently, yeah, it's we've been submitting it for festivals. It recently it won Lake County Film Festival, which is like my little hometown film festival, and then it recently just got Best in Show at the, I'm sorry if I pronounce this incorrectly, but the Lights Out Screen Test Film, or Lights Out Film Fest. It's Lights Out, and it's a Uppercut Studio. They're in Pittsburgh area. Actually, they're just on Smithfield, so they were hosting a little film festival. But it is currently in submission for Cleveland International, Ann Arbor Film Fest, Three Rivers, which comes up in November, and St. Albans and a few other handful more. So hopefully we'll hear back from them and see how it's going to do. But
yeah, we definitely have our fingers crossed for you guys. I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, but what are your plans for after graduation?
I've been talking too much. You should.
Well, hopefully after graduation, I will become hugely successful.
Yeah. Me too. And that's who needs to plan when you're successful.
Yeah, the details don't matter.
Nah. I guess my goal would be to just keep on doing what I'm doing, build this universe out. I have kind of this theory for an underground art exhibition of the films that I've been a part of for the past few years at Point Park, so I'm going to kind of enact that. But I mean, I guess the next thing is if by chance the Casket in the Body does well at festivals, if we can pick up more funding, maybe we can use the original feature that Ryan wrote. There's a lot that happens in the party that hasn't been really shown at all. There's a lot that happens that this is only, what we showed is only just it's a small figment of the actual feature film. So if we can find funding, maybe we can build that out and make a feature out of it that can possibly go farther. So.
All right. Yeah.
And I'll also fall asleep under a bridge because I'm a filmmaker and I'm gonna be poor.
Well, hopefully not.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Nah, I'm sure I'll find my way somehow.
You will.
Not a bridge, but maybe a couch.
A couch. Hey,
this couch.
I don't know if you've seen, but there's some good creations. There's a you drive down the bridge going towards on the shuttle, and there's this cocoon that one of those they made. So I don't know. I think
you can get creative with it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh has some good options for someone who's struggling to find a home.
Most livable city for people without houses.
Wow,
we
sure offended everyone today.
Probably not. There's communities that we haven't touched yet, I'm sure.
Do you want it? Now we'll save that for the next time.
Well, it's been great having you guys on the show today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining us. I wish you both the best of luck, and you'll get your success.
Thank you.
Wherever it may be. Well, join us next week on In Focus for more interviews with Point Park Cinema students.